What's up, everybody? I just got done watching that Young Thug interview with Big Bank Black. Shout out Black. Um, Real quick, a few things. I like how Thug could articulate himself. Um, it's showing that growth, even though he had to get a little bit of growth in jail, which will always make you grow up fast. But that's a huge plus. Just being able to listen to the interview without getting that cringy feeling. You know, when somebody interviewing and they just speaking, they're not really saying nothing, and all they can say is, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I mean? So I'm so happy he didn't have to rely on that and could really articulate himself from that growth in jail. Unfortunately, a lot of people do have to grow up, or jail forces them to grow up real quick, especially if you spend a bunch of time in there. So, but you could tell he got to really get it off his chest how he felt about this whole situation, and he even cried during the interview, which was uh, goes back to that growth again. And he had his shades on, but you could still tell he was crying. I saw him wiping away his tears, but he probably really needed this venting session, and I think it would have been better, obviously, if Gunna was there, but that probably won't happen. But if it does, I'll definitely be watching. But if him and Gunna could have just sat there and spoken this situation, that would have been amazing to see. But we'll see maybe in the future. Um, I do kind of get what Young Thug was speaking on about as far as how far him and Gunna came together, and the other fellow that snitched. I can't remember which dude snitched or whatever. According to Young Thug, not something I know, but I do kind of understand. Like, damn, we done did all this together, and boom, you take your plea, you snitch according to what Young Thug believes. So I kind of get what he's saying. So that's neither here nor there. That'll be something they got to work out. But Young Thug has to remember, when somebody's sitting in that jail cell, it's just you in that jail cell, and what that cell says to you is gonna speak differently from what it'll say to Young Thug. Some people can take it standing up, being there doing push-ups and reading books and shit, and really find themselves. But some people, if you want to get back home to your woman, to smoking, to your career, to whatever, it'll make you take that plea. And I always believe there is no such thing as snitching. Like, if two criminals if they get caught after they do their crime, and one of them say, I want to get out, I don't think it's some type of fake moral code that alleviates y'all from what y'all have done because nobody tell. But when somebody tell, that's the more egregious thing than the crime. I kind of still